guys, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to a brand new video. Oh, trying to put my hazards on. It just worked. Anyway guys, for today's video, what we are going to be doing is we are going to be talking about car finance. Holy shit, I might get roasted for this video. Now, if you guys don't know, my car is on finance. That is why I can't do a lot of things with it. I can't put a new exhaust on it. I can't do this. I can't do that. I'm going to be going into, do I regret it? Is it a good idea? Is it a bad idea? From my point of view, talking about what it is and how I got my car financed at 17. So we're going to quit all the jibber jabber and we're going to get on with this video. So let me quickly touch up on the basis of what car financing is. It's quite simple. It's like financing a MacBook. It's like financing a computer. It's like financing some wheels. I'm not a finance wizard. I know the basics of it because I have a car on finance. I'm not the guy to ask all the technical questions about. I'm an idiot, all right? Car financing is, let's say you walk into a dealership, a Ferrari dealership, let's say, and you see a nice Vauxhall Corsa. This one, basically a Ferrari. This footage is some A-star Casey Neistat work. Honestly, look at this. Got a calculator because I'm a retailer and I can't work it out. So honestly guys, if you want this £6,000 Ferrari, but you don't have the money, in simple terms, finance basically splits that amount into a certain amount of months. And for this example, we're going to choose a 24-month agreement, which means every single month for 24 months, I will be paying a set amount of money. And basically, if you divide 24 by 6 grand, you get 250. So you'd be paying £250 per month, obviously without the interest or without you making a deposit. Most companies do require a deposit of, like, I think it's optional, but some might be 40%, some might be 20%, some might be 10%. My one was optional. So yeah, that is what car finance is roughly. A lot of people ask me,
how did you finance your car at 17?
Long story short, the finance is in my mum's name. However, I'm the one paying. That's as simple as that. Okay, so before we get into all the positives and negatives of finance, I'm going to take you guys out on a quick drive and talk about, is financing a good idea or a bad idea? Let's go. So I'm going to be talking about, is financing good in my opinion, nobody else's opinion. We'll move on to the positives and negatives in a little bit. So overall, do I think financing is a good idea? And I would honestly say yes. It gets you a car that you want, that you would be saving up for anyway, straight away, just splitting it up into monthly payments. And obviously it can come with a lot of benefits, like getting a car on 0% APR, no interest basically, which means every single penny you pay to the car goes to the car and you don't have to pay any extra money. For me personally, this is the car that I wanted as my first car, or second car. So I'd be saving up for this car anyway. And basically the money that I'm paying towards the car would be probably money that I would be putting away to save for it. You know what I mean? Luckily, my car's been very reliable, so I haven't had to pay for it fixing, and on top of that, the finance. Obviously, there are negatives that come with it, so let me get straight into that right now. Now let me get into some positives about the car. Mate, I'm like Einstein. You can get a car that you can't afford with finance. Whew, people would not have thought of that. If you want a BMW 1 Series for your first car and you've got a stable job, you can get that. If you want a Mercedes A-Class or CLA for your first car, you could get it. Could. Another positive is, let's say you have 6 grand in your bank and there's a 6 grand car you want. You could spread that 6 grand over a course of 12 months or 24 months if you don't just want to blow 6 grand on a bloody car. Obviously, some people are going to say, well, there's a lot of interest that comes with that, but you can actually get cars with 0% APR. This car has 10% APR. If this was a 6 grand car, I'd be paying £600 more just to have it on finance. 0% APR literally means you're not paying a penny to interest. A penny more than you have to, basically. Now, another major thing about finance is the deposit, because you're going to have to deposit some sort of chunk of money to the car to start it off, basically. Like, some companies don't require a deposit or 0% APR, like literally. It's quite good to have a deposit on a car because you've knocked off a chunk of the car already. But if you don't have that money, you could just go in. Obviously, you might have to get approved for it, but yeah. Another positive is the car finance gives you a bill, and that is good, you know. The car finance is the biggest bill that I have right now, and basically it just teaches you that you have to have this money in your account every single month, or somebody is going to come pick this car up and tow it away. So have to be making some sort of income. So it gives you some sort of adulthood, you know. Next positive is you can pay off this car as soon as you want. If you pay off sooner, you pay off the interest. At least for mine, yeah, you pay off the interest. For my car, I'll save up a whole chunk of money and then I'll pay off that chunk of money off my car. If you have got any other positives, probably nobody does. Comment them down below. But now going on to the negatives is obviously interest rates. Once I pay this car off, I'm gonna literally pay 10% of this car to nothing. It's just gonna go to the finance company and they're gonna be making profit off it. They're gonna be having a nice steak meal with my bloody money. You don't want to be paying any more money than you have to be, basically. Next thing is you can't modify your car unless you can take that modification off, you know, like these window flects or my 3D number plates, or you can't modify it. You can't put an exhaust on, maybe you can't do any engine modifications to it, purely because it's not your car. It's not your car until you've paid off that final payment. If you guys saw Living Life Fast, he had to pay off his full price of his BMW because he modified his car on finance. And that's another big YouTuber who finances their car. Now, I've already touched on this point, but the car's not yours, basically. That's as tough as it gets. It's not yours. This is the finance company's car. Next point is if you sign up for I don't know, a six year contract, you're gonna have the car for 6 years unless you pay it off quicker. So yeah, that's a bit you don't want to be having a car for 6 years. At the moment, I'm quite content with my car. Another point is if it breaks, you'll have to pay off the finance and you'll have to pay the bills. No, and you'll have to pay the fixing, which isn't too good. My sister had a real big problem with her car, where it wouldn't run, basically. So she had to pay like $2,000 plus the finance. And the car was sitting on the drive and it wasn't even being used, and she still had to pay for finance. She's had a different approach to financing car. So obviously you want to pick a car that's really reliable. My car's been reliable so far, which is really good. So yeah, guys, unfortunately that is the end of today's video. Hopefully this was informative to some people. Comment your opinion of finance down below. If you've got to the end of this video, then comment speed. And subscribe to the first person who does that. Follow me on Instagram at @_OtherStuff if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new. Like the video if you didn't. Dislike it if you didn't like it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see love faces in my next video.